Hi, I'm Teryl from TerylLloyd.com. I would like to show you today our new arcs. Well, they've been out for a little bit, but I haven't had a chance yet to play with them on a video for you. So let's do that. I did have three sizes. I have 10-inch, 13-inch, and 16-inch. And then all like my other templates, I make them in both the 1/4-inch thickness and the 3/8. So let's check them out. Okay, we're going to do curved crosshatching in this 5-inch block. I did a couple dry runs over here. I'll use the 13-inch, and I'll explain to you real quickly why. You got to watch the size that you choose when you go to do this, because if I started humming down here with this little guy, as I get up here, notice how I'm going to have trouble if I was quilting on this side, even reaching the whole block. So kind of size your templates to the size of your space. Now, if I chose to work on the outside of this one, yeah, I would have made it. But in a 6-inch block, it would have been probably too small. The other thing you want to think about is the shape of the curve. Obviously, a 10-inch radius has a steeper curve than the 13 or the 16. Now, in a 5-inch block, it's not that noticeable, and that's what I tried to show here. In fact, I used each of them. Probably can't tell which is which. Turns out this is the 10, and this one is the 13, and this one is the, oops, I said that backwards. This one is, 13, and this one is the 16. So in a space this small, it's not that significant, the differences. But it's just something to be mindful of. You could see these are steeper curves, and these start to look like straight lines. If this was a little 2-inch block and I tried to use this 13 to crosshatch in there, it would look like straight lines. You wouldn't see any curvature whatsoever. So in that case, the smaller your space, the smaller your arc. We'll go ahead right now and just use the 13. Okay, so I'm going to start in the bottom corner, and I'm going to push the ruler up, work upward across the diagonal. So let's do a quick secure here. Actually, I'll just stitch up a couple stitches. Okay, I'll do 1 inch apart just so it goes quicker. So if I want my lines 1 inch spacing, I need to use the 3rd etch line, the solid line. Each one of these is a 1/4 inch, and if you count the 1/4 inch from the hopping foot width, that would make this line 1 inch. We'll just do that because it just means we have less lines to quilt right now. In these blocks I showed you earlier, I used the dotted line, or I did 3/4 inch. So I would put that line exactly on my corner, and then the perpendicular line here, kind of just target it to point to your opposite corner, approximately. It's not an exact science. It's just gives you, if you want your lines to kind of match and then the other angle to come in about the same, it's just a little guide. Okay, off we go. Just hum down, stitch up until that same etch line that we're using sits on top of here. So right now I don't have enough clearance, so I'm going to stitch down the ditch further. There she is. I'm just going to use the previous curve every time for my positioning and just make parallel lines. So again, stitch up the ditch. Little one-handed stitching there, so I didn't hit it exactly. The etch lines on the stitching, off we go. Line up the edge line on the stitching. Looks like I went a couple stitches too far, came back. Okay, when you come to the corner, just turn the corner in your ditch. Line up those edge lines, and off you go. Doesn't look like I'm going to get one more, but I'll check. That was pretty darn close. I'm going to opt not to do that little one right there, because it would look a little funny, just such a small little space. And then I would just come down here and repeat the same process going in that direction. Do a little secure there. Okay, so line that third line right up on the corner, aim that approximately the perpendicular line approximately to the other corner, and off we go. Again, I have that little space. Yeah, I probably wouldn't, well, I'll do it right there so you can see. Yeah, I probably wouldn't bother to put that in. And we have a crosshatch block. I do want to show you one more thing we did when we designed these templates. Notice on these previous blocks, I didn't get a line corner to corner. Let's say you're doing something, a particular design, and you really want that to happen. Well, okay, this would be easy to do it with this ruler. Here's the problem with typical rulers. So we tried to address that issue. Let me just do a quick secure here. Say I wanted to make sure I had a corner to corner line. So I'm going to do one real fast, and I'm going to use my hopping foot demo tool, put it exactly on that corner so I know where to position this edge of the template, and I'll just move it away. Okay, as you saw over here, I kept pushing the ruler up, 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 up to continue down the block. Well, what happens when it's time to do these? I can't pull the ruler down because I don't have spacing. I don't know how far to pull it down for each line. A lot of the arcs out there, they're so generous and they give us 2 different tools on each side of the template. Well, in the case of curved cross-hatching, it doesn't help you too much because I would like to quilt this way also. Well, we made both sides of this ruler exactly the same. This is a 13-inch diameter and this is a 13-inch diameter. I know it doesn't look like that, but if I wanted to work backwards, like I'll do right now, I could put that same edge line here and I would get the same spacing on either side of the ruler. See, I still get my 1-inch spacing. This is incredibly helpful, especially like in my case, I'm doing cross-hatching in some odd-shaped area, and I just start humming along. Generally, I start here and work this way, and then I come back and say, oh, I want a couple more lines down here. Well, I don't have a way to do that unless I can work on both sides of the ruler. So this set of rulers, this set of arcs, you can work on both sides and get the same result. On these 2 blocks, I gave you a couple ideas of how you could vary your cross-hatching. I was kind of goofing around, but on this guy, I took and I angled this ruler very high. I actually used this instead of using this to shoot to my corners and angled it at 45. I actually put it upright. You could say vertically if you call sitting this on my edge vertically. And I hummed across and I got this very interesting looking shape using the same process we did over there. So you can notice this distance in the first arc, the length of the vertical length are very different. That's what gave us this effect. So like right here, instead of holding the ruler this way, I held the ruler way up like that. And then over here, I played too. Instead of, this time I used the big ruler, but instead again of shooting that perpendicular line toward the opposite corner, I angled it. So I had just a little rise, but a long horizontal run in that way. And I got more of a diamond shape instead of a square shape in my shapes. And notice how it varied too as I got up there. So it was kind of fun. So you can play with the rulers. Nothing says your cross-hatching has to be perfect squares. You can just put it at any angle you feel like. So have fun with this. I hope these really help you out. Thank you.